404.5 Testing. 1. Manhole testing. Successful passage of a vacuum test shall be required for acceptance of all sanitary sewer manholes and sanitary sewer structures. Vacuum testing shall be conducted using an engineer-approved vacuum tester. Pre-testing after connections are made but before backfilling is recommended to facilitate better and easier repair if required. The following procedures shall be followed. A. Plug all manhole inverts and lift holes. Inverts shall be plugged using suitably sized pneumatic or mechanical pipeline plugs. The plugs shall be placed a minimum of 6 inches, 6, beyond the manhole wall to prevent temporary sealing of the inverts. Follow all manufacturers' recommendations and warnings for proper and safe installation of such plugs. Make sure such plugs are properly rated for the pressure required for the test. The standard test of 10-inch, 10 Hg mercury, is equivalent to approximately 5 psig, 0.3 bar, back pressure. Unless such plugs are mechanically restrained, it is recommended that the plugs used have a 2x safety factor or a minimum 10 psig. 0.7 bar, back pressure using rating. Caution. Brace inverts if lines entering the manhole have not been backfilled to prevent pipe from being dislodged and pulled into the manhole. B. Install the vacuum tester head assembly at the top access point of the manhole, preferably the ring area. Adjust the cross brace to ensure that the inflatable sealing element inflates and seals against the straight top section of the manhole structure. Caution. Do not pressurize manhole. This may result in manhole damage and/or result in manhole test head dislodging from manhole inlet. C. Attach the vacuum pump assembly to the proper connection on the test head assembly. Make sure the vacuum inlet/outlet valve is in the closed position. D. Following all safety precautions and manufacturer's instructions, inflate sealing element to the recommended maximum inflation pressure. Caution. Do not overinflate. E. Start the vacuum pump assembly engine and allow preset RPM to stabilize. F. Open the inlet/out ball valve and evacuate the manhole to 10-inch, 10 Hg. 0.3 bar. G. Close vacuum inlet/out ball valve, disconnect vacuum pump, and monitor vacuum for the specified time period. If the vacuum does not drop in excess of 1 inch, 1 Hg, over the specified time period, the manhole is considered acceptable and passes the test. If the manhole fails the test, identify the leaking areas by removing the head assembly, coating the interior surfaces of the manhole with a soap and water solution, and repeating the vacuum test for approximately 30 seconds. Leaking areas will have soapy bubbles. Once the leaks have been identified, complete all necessary repairs and repeat test procedures until satisfactory results are obtained. Vacuum test timetable shows diameter in inches, terms of depth in feet, at 48 inches, 60 inches, 72 inches. Add T times for each additional 2 depth. The values listed above have been extrapolated from ASTM designation C924-85, H. Repeat the above test procedure after backfilling for final acceptance test. 2. Alternate manhole testing. Manholes may be hydrostatic tested as an alternate to vacuum testing if approved by the engineer. Hydrostatic testing shall be conducted by plugging with engineer-approved plugs all influent and effluent pipes in the manhole and filling the manhole with water to the top of the manhole cone with water. Additional water may be added over a 24-hour period to compensate for absorption and evaporate losses. At the conclusion of the 24-hour saturation period, the manhole shall be filled to the top of the manhole cone and observed. Any loss within a 30-minute period shall be considered an unsuccessful test. Contractor to ensure all plugs used to plug sewer lines, while testing the project, such as air plugs, screw-type plugs, etc. are labeled, marked, or tagged. Project inspector will record how many plugs are being used, location and ID. Within collection system, contractor will report to project inspector of any lost or unrestrained plugs into sewer collection system. Contractor will be held liable for any damages to sewer collection system stoppages, overflows, backup into homes caused by lost runaway sewer plugs that were used on that project or outfall line wastewater treatment plants. Contractor will also be responsible for any damage to wastewater treatment apparatus, such as screw pumps, etc., caused by lost or runaway sewer plugs. Contractor will be held liable for damages, as well as cost of repairs. 3. Trench safety. All excavation and trenching shall conform to item number 700, trench excavation protection. 404. 6. Water main crossings. Where manholes are to be constructed in the vicinity of water mains, the requirements of the design criteria for domestic wastewater systems 30-217 or any revisions thereto as applicable. Unless sanitary sewer manholes and the connecting sewer can be made watertight and tested for no leakage, they must be installed so as to provide a minimum of 9 feet of horizontal clearance from an existing or proposed water line. Where the 9-foot separation distance cannot be achieved, a carrier pipe may be used where appropriate. 404.7 Measurement. Standard sanitary sewer manholes materials and installation will be measured in the field for each manhole that is complete in place. 404.8 Payment. Payment will be at the unit price bid for the manhole indicated and will be full compensation to complete construction. No separate payment will be made for any items of work, materials, parts, equipment, supplies, or related items required to perform and complete the requirements of the specifications for standard sanitary sewer manholes complete in place. Payment for manholes specifically identified in the project plans and specifications will be made at the unit price bid for each, which price shall include manhole ring and cover, concrete ring encasement, crushed stone, precast sections, manhole covers, precast section O-ring gaskets, lubricants, throat rings, cones, flat lids, manhole bases, pipe cradles, embedment, testing, concrete, mortar, labor, tools, equipment, pipe to manhole connectors, T's, Y's, castings, and related items required to construct, test and complete the work. Item number 405 Sanitary sewer structures 405 Description. This item shall govern for the construction of all concrete sanitary sewer structures other than standard sanitary sewer manholes including manholes larger than 4 feet, 4, in internal diameter, shallow manholes, wet wells, dry wells, etc. All concrete sanitary sewer structures shall be constructed in accordance with the specifications herein outlined and in conformity with the required lines, grades, sections, and details shown on the plans or as directed by the engineer. All plans, materials, and specifications shall be in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, TAC, rules to include design criteria for sewerage systems 30-217, or any revisions thereto as applicable. 405.2 Materials. 1. Concrete. All concrete shall conform to the provisions of item number 300, concrete, Class A, or shall be of the class as noted on the plans. Concrete for precast structures shall have a minimum compressive strength of 4,000 p. s. I. in 28 days and comply with the applicable requirements of ASTM C478. 2. Reinforcing steel. All reinforcing steel shall conform to the provisions of item number 301, reinforcing steel. 3. Membrane curing compound. All membrane curing compound shall conform to the provisions of item number 305, membrane curing. 4. Manhole rings and covers. All manhole rings and covers shall conform to the provisions of item number 404, standard sanitary sewer manholes. 5. All structures and non-structures shall be watertight and the interior walls coated with a SEWER-approved sewer structural coating. 405. 3. Construction methods. Construction methods shall conform to all applicable terms of item number 307, concrete structures. Sanitary sewer structures constructed to function as manholes, wet wells, dry wells, or maintenance access appurtenances to gravity sewer systems shall be constructed to accommodate influent and effluent pipes as described in applicable provisions of item 404, standard sanitary sewer manholes and the entire completed structure tested as described therein or as approved by the engineer. All sanitary sewer structures and manholes larger than 4 feet, 4, in internal diameter shall conform with the minimum wall thickness, reinforcement steel, and other requirements of ASTM-C 478. All excavation and trenching shall conform to item number 700, trench excavation protection. 405. 4. Testing. All testing shall conform to item number 404.5, standard sanitary sewer manholes. Testing. 405. 4. Measurement. Sanitary sewer structures materials and installation will be measured in the field for each structure that is complete in place. 405. 6. Payment. Payment will be at the unit price bid for the diameter of structure indicated and will be full compensation to complete construction. No separate payment will be made for any items of work, materials, parts, equipment, supplies, or related items required to perform and complete the requirements of the specifications for sanitary sewer structures complete in place. Payment for structures specifically identified in the project plans and specifications will be made at the unit price bid for each, which price shall include monolithic manholes, manhole ring and cover, concrete ring encasement, crushed stone, precast sections, manhole covers, precast section O-ring gaskets, lubricants, throat rings, cones, flat lids, manhole bases, pipe cradles, embedment, testing, concrete, mortar, labor, tools, equipment, pipe to manhole connectors, T's, Y's, castings, and related items required to construct, test and complete the work. Item number 406. Jacking, boring or tunneling pipe. 406. 1. Description. This item shall govern for the furnishing and installation of pipe by the methods of jacking, boring, or tunneling as shown on the plans and in conformity with this specification. All work within the city street, county street, state highway, or railroad right-of-way must meet the requirements in this section as a minimum and shall meet the requirements of the permit issued by the city, county, state or railroad owner when their requirements are more stringent. Approval of all completed work in the right-of-way must be obtained from the appropriate official or owner prior to final acceptance.